do everything in live, but part of what we're going to be doing, hopefully, is trying to make that experience positive as it can be, despite the hurdles we've all been thrown. And definitely want to welcome you all and extend an invitation to reach out to any of the board members if you have questions, which I'm sure you will. Frankly, we all have a bunch of questions that are unanswered at this point. And to those of you who have seniors, I want to extend our commitment that we're going to do our best to make sure that they get the senior year that the best that they can under the circumstances. And we run our scholarship program, which you'll hear about, and hope to make this as normal as we possibly can. A quick intro for the new folks on what the Producers is. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. It's been around for a very long time. It exists to serve YPAS. We are not a PTSA. We have with us tonight the president of the Manual PTSA, who's also a YPAS father. He's our band rep, Jim Cabral, and he does a great job over there, but that's not our role. Our role is to help the YPAS school and its teachers raise the next generation of performing artists. And we do that through fundraising. We do that through just providing assistance where it's asked for. And we try to stay out of the way, but also help wherever we can. And I think there's going to be some parts of this year that we're going to have to step up in ways that we maybe haven't had to in the past. And then before we get to the elections, the last thing I will throw out there, and again, if any of the board members want to jump in and correct me, we don't have really a clue what the next 6 weeks are going to look like, and we sure don't have a clue what the next year is going to look like. We don't have a ton more intel than you do, and we will ask everyone what Manual and YPAS have been putting out to follow their social media, make sure your contact information is correct with the school, and they are pushing it out. In the vast majority of the instances, we get it when you get it. So to the extent we can answer historical questions, that's great. But unfortunately, what has happened historically right now doesn't mean a whole lot. And so, like I said, we'll help in any way we can, but I don't have a file full of information over here about what's going on. I'm as curious as everybody else of what the next year is going to look like. And I'm pretty sure from the PTSA perspective, Jim would tell you the exact same thing. He's nodding at me. Okay, so the first order of business is to handle the elections. We normally would have done this in May, but we were in the throes of not being able to get together. So we kicked the can a little bit with hopes that we'd be able to do this meeting live and do it then, but we are where we are. So we do have a full slate of candidates. And Callie, if you can share that Word document. And while she's doing that, the way this will work, we have none of the roles are contested. There's no real election here. If anybody from the floor wants to nominate somebody else for any of the positions, you're free to do so. In lieu of having kind of an unmute free-for-all, the way I think we'll do that is if you look down at the bottom, there's a chat button you can click all and say you want to nominate somebody and we can get you unmuted. But the spots to be filled are president, vice president of membership, vice president of fundraising, secretary, treasurer, vice president of hospitality, vice president of spiritware, vice president of communications, and scholarships. And Callie's got us sharing. Hopefully you all can see this. Here are the candidates. I am the candidate for president. Melissa Pascua is for membership. Chris Bingaman for fundraising. Mary Ellen Sant for secretary. Anna Elder for treasurer. Michelle Cole for hospitality. And then we have two positions where they require quite a bit of legwork and kind of frantic periods of activity. So we have co-chairs there. One of them is Spiritware, where we have Sarah Helvey Martin and Lacey Gilliam. Communications is Callie, who's been running our Zoom so far, Callie Sloan. And then for scholarship, we have Sarah Stalker and Kelly Absulsason, which I probably butchered, and my apologies, Kelly. So does anybody, I'll give a pause here for a second. Does anybody have, want to send a chat around that they would like to nominate somebody different? All right, I'm not seeing any bubbles popping up. The way I'm going to do this, again, to avoid the unmuting and a bunch of yays and nays, is if you are in favor of the slate that has been put up there, if you can just give me a thumbs up and hold it for a second, and we will just click through. All right. And if anybody has a nay, thank you all. If anybody has a nay, I know some of you aren't on video. I'll give you a second and you can post that in the chat. Looks everybody's in favor. Going once, going twice. Okay, we all win. Hopefully that election was a little easier than the one we have in November coming up. All right, so next on the list, I don't need to tell anybody on this call, probably, the challenges that we're all facing here, and particularly the school, the teachers, the students, and us as parents. But as an arts organization and a school to develop performing artists, we've got one of the most hard hit sectors here. The producers supply a significant portion of the money that each of the magnet programs within YPAS use. We normally have a budget that is communicated to each of the teachers, and they know at this point how much money they're going to have to spend through the year. They know what instruments they can buy. They know what private instruction they can pay for. We provide accompanists. We provide instrument repair money, support for trips. And our traditional goal is to limit the fundraising burden on each of the programs individually. They've each done fundraising over time, particularly for trips and things like that. But the goal being that the kids get to focus on their art and less on selling candy bars. Unfortunately, in this year, the vast majority of our income has been wiped out. We have been sponsored for a number of years, I think it's like 30 years, by a former YPAS alum's father who runs bingos, and he has allowed the use of one of his bingo halls on a couple of nights a week, and all of the proceeds of that go to the YPAS producers. And that's happened since time immemorial. Bingo was closed for the vast majority of March through now. They briefly reopened and very quickly figured out that they couldn't operate profitably and closed back down. So we haven't had any of that stream of income since February, and we are not anticipating it picking up anytime soon. The second biggest source of fundraising we had was parking cars for the St. James Art Fair. which funds our scholarship program. And we've made a lot of money doing that. And St. James has been canceled this year. We've also had other fundraising opportunities that we have done in and around events. And most of those events are now gone. So those, our ability to send a group of students out to some event and have them work it and then get money for us is down. We also don't know what performances are going to look like this year. The ticket revenue that some of the magnets and the programs have used is up in the air. We have no clue. And so we're looking at an income side of our income statement that maybe it's not quite a zero, but it's close. And yet we have programs that need the money to buy the equipment, software, et cetera, to run their program through NTI, through whatever it's going to look like going forward, however long that happens. We may have fits and starts where things go back and forth. We just don't know. And so what you're going to hear from Chris, our fundraising VP, from Anna, our treasurer, and from all of us over the course of the next year is kind of a plea for help. And we're going to be looking for any inroads that anybody in YPAS, producers, wherever, has with companies that have matching budgets on fundraising, anything that you all can share to help us get over this year and help us make sure that the seniors going out have the best experience they can have, the freshmen coming in get the YPAS experience that they work their rear ends off for. And let's be honest, that a lot of the parents work their rear ends off for to put them in that position, and get them that while we don't have any income. And with that comes, trying to figure out ways to build the social aspect that is going to be missing for at least a portion of this year. Figure out ways to do electronic performances if they can't do live. That costs money. And, if we have more money, then we can do better productions. So when grandma and grandpa are sitting down to watch the live stream of the performance, that it's coming through the better camera and the better microphones than, Phil sitting there with his cell phone, which is, where we may be right now. And so anyways, be prepared. We're going to be asking a lot of our parents. A lot of times kids get to high school and we all kind of breathe a sigh of relief and they don't really want us around, and we pull back and let them learn how to be young adults. This is going to be a period of time where we're going to have to engage and figure out how to backfill what has historically been there to make sure that we get through this time period. So opportunities for you, join the producers. If you've got an inclination, let one of us know and we will figure out a way to use whatever skills and whatever time you have. And if we can't figure out a way to use you, we'll get you over to the folks at YPAS and they will figure out a way to use what you have and get us there. Callie will tell you how. Follow all of our social media. Follow and broadcast it out there. If grandma and grandpa want to support little junior, then absolutely, we'll give them a way to do it. And if your company, like I said, if they have a matching and we can figure our way into that, then let's do it. If your company wants to write a check, a lot of these places are now having these charitable things to try to support the arts. Let's tap into that. And we'll have meetings throughout the year. I'm hoping they will go live. Doesn't look like anything's going to happen before the end of September at this point, given what I just heard from the governor. But we will have 3 more meetings, October 19, February 8th, and May 10th. We'll publicize how they're going to be held, and there will be discussions about things that we will do. And then for the freshman folks, I'm not sure we've set the time yet, but on September 7th, there will be a Zoom-based freshman welcome. That will, assuming we can pull off the mechanics, involve a presentation from the producers. And then it will also have an opportunity for breakout rooms and discussions with the various teachers for each of the programs. It's going to be a little clunky. We've normally done that on the stage and had a chance for breakouts, et cetera, but we want to make sure that there is a firm, good, solid introduction between our parents and the teachers so that we kick this thing off on the right way. So with that, I did see a question from somebody. Somebody's telling me it's the 9th. Okay. September 9th. We're not gonna make you come in on Labor Day. Okay, so with that, I'm going to introduce each of our board members kind of in turn here, and they will give a little quick presentation on where they are. And I'm going to start with the most important, who is actually not a board member, but she is ex officio to the board. I'm sure many of you have met her if you've been around YPAS, or if you went through the audition process with your kiddos, you've probably met her that way. But Melissa Case, and I'll let her introduce herself and give you a little info on where we are with YPAS.
Okay, as he said, my name is Melissa Case. I'm the administrative director at YPAS, and I work with the productions and the new students coming in with admissions, but I also serve as the liaison between the producers and our staff at YPAS to try to make the experience best for everybody. Phil hit a lot of what I want to say, so I'll be brief. I do want to welcome all the new faces. It's always exciting to see new faces, whether you have incoming freshmen, or maybe you had freshmen last year and you just wanted to get your feet wet as a parent that way first, and now want to step in a little bit more and volunteer with the producers. So we appreciate you being here and hope to see you numerous times throughout the year, whether virtually or in person. We'll talk more about this at the September 9th meeting, but YPAS cannot operate without the producers, bottom line. So the budget shortfall is of great concern. So more than any other year, this year it is vital that we really all pull in together as parents, tap into our resources that we have in the community, so we can continue to make the education at YPAS what's expected and what should be. So any chance you get to make sure that you're staying in the communication loop is good, following all of the producers' accounts as well as YPAS's separate social media accounts, and following up on our website is very important. Also, I know sometimes, like Philip said, at the high school level, your students want to sort of be on their own. You can still be very involved in producers and never really see your student at events, or they can ignore you and all is fine. So and you can have a bigger little role, bringing in water, helping organize events. Anything is appreciated. So we hope to see you. So a couple of updates that I wanted to give, mainly just from the YPAS perspective. I know you all have a ton of questions regarding what NTI will specifically look like. We're not really here to get into that tonight. If you have questions, you can feel free to email me at a different time on that. But more specifically, just about YPAS and what our season will look like, and the big answer is we really don't know. Assuming we come back in October, we're still probably looking at an all virtual fall performance schedule, since the district has limited basically no assemblies, no field trips, no concerts. We are working on a document to sort of show how we will implement safe practices when we are able to have audiences, hopefully. We will reorganize the season setup. We will be moving the musical to the spring if we're able to have that, and may have to find one that can be streamed. We'll probably go down to one straight play this year, and then sort of reduce our number of concerts out of necessity. So it will look very different, but it's still going to be valuable. And I know this because our teachers are amazing, and they have a lot of great ideas as far as ways they're going to be able to let their students perform some way or another. And I think that's probably, I'm a, parent of, my kids didn't go to YPAS, but they're performers. And I know we want to see our kids up there performing because that's what they love and we want them to be happy. So that's where we are as far as the season and performances. I want to talk real briefly on one other thing, because I'm not sure if Jennifer was going to, and I'm sort of the contact person for that. Jennifer Duran, her daughter's a musical theater major, had the wonderful idea of starting a mentor program through the producers. If I'm stealing your thunder, I'm sorry. But so what we are looking for are senior students to be mentors, and for freshmen who are coming in to be a mentee, so they can have that line of communication. They can ask any question to, that they feel safe asking them questions, even though they might think it's stupid to ask someone else. And then even for the parent to have someone to ask questions to if need be. So in order to participate in that, you can check on our Facebook page. There's information on how to contact me so we can get your students signed up, and then they can be paired up with someone probably from their own department within the YPAS magnet. That's all I have for now. Again, if you have questions outside of that, feel free to email me. Again, my email is on that same ad on our Facebook page.
Okay, thanks, Melissa. I'm going to lateral it over to our treasurer, Anna Elder. I think I probably stole the thunder and telling you it's doom and gloom and bad, but Anna, I'll let you give a little broader update on where you're headed and what we're seeing there.
Absolutely. I was actually going to say a lot of what Phil said is exactly what we need to know, right? So I'm Anna Elder. I'm the returning treasurer last year. My daughter is a rising 11th grader in the vocal department. So I'm very excited to see what this year brings, and very excited to hopefully get back to a little bit more normal next year. I'm kind of giving up on this the first couple months here of this year. But I think it's still going to be exciting to see what we can do, how we can be innovative, how the kids can adapt. Phil mentioned that we had a budget, we looked at it. At this point, our revenue is much different. So that's why we're not presenting a budget. Normally we would present a full budget out at this meeting to let you know. And as we've discussed over the last couple of weeks, as more things have rolled out as to how this year is going to start, we decided that really our budget was just numbers that we pulled out of the air at this point. They're not supported, reliable numbers. So what we, at this point, we're really looking at, let's take it a few months at a time. Let's try and see, as the teachers are making their plans right now, we want to evaluate anything we can do to help connect the students, to really provide any additional services that they can do virtually. They'll mention software. I know that there's been some discussion about having some individual coaches. We always support accompanists and master classes. I know toward the end of last year that we had several departments do some extra master classes virtually. So that might be a way to go. So really at this point, we are really just open to responding to what our teachers need. The budget deficit there, I know there was a question in the chat as to what our budget deficit was. Over the past 3 years, we averaged about $70,000 in support for the different departments. And that's not including the $15,000 for scholarships or, just kind of the operational costs that we need to do to run. So our budget shortfall this year is really most of that. So we're looking at about $85,000 for a budget shortfall that we have to try and make up so that we can really provide the same level of service, the same support to our kids and their education, going forward. So hopefully I answered that question there. It's big, it's daunting, but we really want to survive. We want to help the kids thrive, as much as we can. I think that's all I really wanted to say, is that we're trying to be flexible. We're going to take it as we can and do everything we can. And we encourage all the parental support and suggestions that we can get. So with that, I'll send it back to Phil.
All right. Thanks, Anna. And then next up, and probably the most important at our introductory meeting for you is how do you get involved? How do you join? And our VP of membership, Melissa Pascual, will walk you through that. So, Melissa.
Okay. At the beginning of the meeting in the chat box, I put a link to the membership form, and hopefully it's working where you can get to it that way. Otherwise, you can go to producers-ypas.org, and up at the top, it says join us or something like that. And the membership form is attached there as well. It's a Google form that you fill out. Towards the end, when you submit, it's going to take you to the Square store to pay. For a single membership, we reduced the price this year. It's only $10 for a single membership. It's $50 for a family membership, $5 for a teacher. Memberships have been trickling in. We've got about 20 people that have renewed or done new memberships. We have some freshman families that have already joined. But if everybody would take time to join the producers, we haven't done an email blast yet. We're waiting to get that started. I know PTSA was really aggressive with getting people to join, and that's great. We need to talk up our memberships as well. And usually the teachers will talk it up with their classes, but with the delay of school, it'd be great if we could get people to join before school starts. So that's one way that we can get a little bit of revenue, and there's a way to make a donation there. But when our fundraising chair talks about projects going on, there's going to be another way that we can make a difference by contributing. So I'll leave that for him.
Okay. And we will, I guess I'll now lateral it over to Callie, who can talk about some of the other ways that you can follow what's going on. And there's some really cool things that just, if nothing else, will make you smile seeing what some of these kids are doing, and particularly seeing stuff that is in a different program than your kid is, and being aware of when things are happening, and with this world, what the links are that you need, as opposed to, when the event is. But Callie, I'll let you take the ball.
Well, I just want to share with you guys, we have always been on Facebook, and you can follow us or find us at YPAS Producers, and all of this will be in the chat, so don't worry about having to write it down right this second. But new this year is Instagram. And if you've previously followed us on Instagram, we were previously under YPAS Producers, but we were having some trouble getting that activated. So our new name is Producers YPAS. So find us on Instagram, Producers YPAS. We've had a couple of fun posts this morning. Be sure to follow us also on Twitter at YPAS Producers. And brand new as of last night, we now have a YouTube channel. So make sure you're following along on YouTube at Producers YPAS. Of course, we have our website, which is the producers-ypas.org. Please be sure you're checking back. We're in the middle of giving the website a makeover, so we want some feedback and some opinions from you guys, what you think. And then, of course, email. If you're not maybe tech savvy or not on some of the social media, you can always email us. This is a little different, and that's producers.ypas@gmail.com. So once again, all of this information will be in the chat. Two final things. I am looking for students or parents who would be interested in joining the social media team. I know the kids love Instagram, so if they want to share with us and would love to share their talents, please drop me an email at producers.ypas@gmail.com. And then also looking for information to upload to all of our social media. So be sure to tag us. Make sure you're sharing your information. We want to know what you and your families are doing.
Okay, thank you, Callie. And I'm going to lateral. I earlier said Melissa Pasco is the most important person, but we're now going to actually talk to the most important person for the next year, which is our VP of fundraising. And it's really what we're going to, all of us as a board are going to focus on, and we're going to really be asking all of you all for your help. But Chris, if you want to introduce yourself and so that all of the people who are going to be working with you to help us fill the hole get to know you.
All right. Chris Bingaman, my son John just recently graduated from YPAS, so see a lot of familiar faces on there. I have served on several different nonprofit boards over the last several years within the Louisville and Kentucky, Indiana area. So fundraising is nothing new to me. Not afraid of it. We had a pretty good plan last year. Last year we raised quite a bit of money for the scholarships at St. James. And we had a great plan for this year, even added some new things. So what we're looking at this year is kind of a one-shot deal. It's just like eating an elephant. You got to do it one bite at a time. So we're going to start talking to parents, grandparents, figuring out where people work, have those conversations and see if we can get a one-time donation. We realize that we might get the whole $85,000, but if not, we at least need to be able to cover what we can in the best that we can do it. So the big thing that's coming up on the 17th of September is Give for Good. And what we're going to blast out there is everything we can to parents. That's why we need emails. That's the other reason that last year we started doing these a little bit more formal or informal, so to speak, these department representatives, because we know that the teachers can't necessarily reach out to every parent. And those parents that are freshmen, you're going to see the same parents, just like on a little league team or anything else. Those same parents you're going to see all the way through their senior year. So you all might as well start talking. Everybody can help each other, but what we're looking at is Give for Good. We'll have a lot of materials out on it. That's September 17th. We want to make sure we get all the parents that we can, grandparents, find out where people work. As you're in your son or daughters or stepdaughters, stepkids, whatever, when you're in those groups, what we're trying to find is we need to get everybody's email, what companies they're in, because some of them have matching gifts. Some of them are in the matching gift program in the Give for Good. So we would like to at least raise $20,000 out of there. And then we think between a virtual silent auction or a virtual concert or some other things that we might be able to do, that we could probably raise the rest of it. So I think Jim said it earlier, this is a one-shot deal. I know Phil said it at the beginning, but Phil said it earlier today. This is a one-time deal. Get through the virus, get everybody to donate, and we can kind of go from there. So I would say if you have any questions, ask, but I don't really have a lot of answers. Oh. And I will say I was disappointed nobody jumped up and said they wanted to be VP of fundraising. I thought somebody might nominate somebody.
Yeah, we're still accepting nominations for co-chairs for any other position. And for anything we're saying tonight, not just what Chris was laying out there, but any ideas that you all have, ways we can fundraise, ways that you think we can help the kids, ways that we can do communication. I think we're open, given the new scenario we're in, we're open to new ideas, probably would be anyways, but at this point, we don't have a monopoly on the best way to do things. We recognize that, and we're happy to listen. I put my email in the chat, it's producers presidents with an S at gmail.com. That S is there because somewhere along the way, the producer president at Gmail email, they lost the password to it and we haven't been able to reset it. So we had to start a new one with an S at the end. So, but we're not grammatically challenged. There's an invention by necessity. All right, we're going to turn it over to one of the coolest things that I think the producers historically have done, which is fund a number of scholarships for our seniors. And so Sarah Stalker has stepped up to help with that, and I will give her the floor now.
Thanks, Phil. Hello, everyone. I've got a kiddo who is in their junior year in the design and production program. So I'm excited for all of you new families that are here and excited for the ones that are more seasoned to return. Something that's really great that the producers offers is that we award out 9 scholarships each year in the amount of $1,500, and then there's an additional $500 that goes to one of those 9 recipients. So somebody walks away with a little extra money, and that goes on for their future endeavors for pursuing the arts. So we want to encourage that and make that financial hardship a little bit easier. So in order to be eligible for the producer's scholarship, you must be a member of the producers all 4 years that you're here. So for anybody who's in their senior year, this is your year. You want to make sure that you renew your membership your senior year so that you can be eligible. And then for any incoming freshman families that are here, or folks who might be coming in your sophomore year and you weren't here for your freshman year, you can join. You don't have to be here all 4 years. It's just if your child doesn't get in until their sophomore year, as long as you join that sophomore year, their junior, and then their senior year, you're eligible. So just go ahead and make a mental note of that, but I'll give you guys some rough time frames as to when that information will be available. We'll put applications out. Most likely it will all be done electronically this year. Historically, they were done by paper, but it's 2020 and we're fighting a virus. So it most likely will all be done electronically. That'll be towards the end of January. So we'll probably talk about that again in February once this application's open, and then begin March 6th. Or somewhere in the beginning of the month. We will have all of those applications and those letters of recommendations will need to be submitted in order for them to be reviewed for the committee. We've got a collection of families or individuals here that make up that committee that review all of those, and then those are announced out at the scholarship decisions are put out at the end of April, I believe, and they are, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, but I think they get announced right at a senior night. So
Yes.
yeah, so that's pretty much it for scholarships. It's short and sweet. The most important thing is you just know you need to join in order to be eligible, and that's it.
All right, thanks, Sarah. And I will, my involvement with the producer actually with being on that scholarship committee, and we interviewed 20 something seniors last year, and it was really incredible. It was done by Zoom, but to get to spend time with 20 plus of the YPAS kids and see their talent and see how they carry themselves and where they're going and with their artistic careers. And it's pretty amazing for seeing what this program does. And for those of you who have freshmen coming in, or even the seniors, you know what it does. So, all right. One of the other things producers does is we run the spirit wear for YPAS. And so normally we would be having this meeting and registration and everything else, and we'd have our nice little table set up, and you would get to pick, what color pajama pants you want. But this year you get to internet order your mask. So with that, I will turn it over to Sarah or Lacey, whichever one of you wants to take the ball and explain what we're doing.
Yeah, so a lot of you, I've probably dropped these off or maybe even seen you in person, but these are our YPAS face masks that are really great. They are the only thing you can get right this minute because all of the other spirit wear is in the YPAS building, which we don't have access to. So if your kid, especially freshmen, needs some swag, I will be happy to deliver it to you free of charge. You just need to send me a message. I'll put my email in the chat. But also Callie, I know, has put stuff on social media about it. And if you go to the link for spirit wear, you can order it online, and I'm checking that. And And you can still go ahead and order spiritware, and I will let you know I've received the order, and we're keeping track, and we will just get that stuff fulfilled as soon as we can.
Thank you. And on that front, one of the things we have tonight for everyone was a raffle that was going to end up with some of you getting spiritware. And so, Melissa, do you have our group of people so that you can pick the winner? Did we lose her?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Is Kelly McNerney in this group? If Kelly is in this group, there you are. There you are. You won the $50 credit. So if you submit a spiritware order, just note on it or try to push it through or try to print out the form and email it to Sarah Helvey. Do something so that we know. We'll watch for it. It's $50 at the spiritware shop.
Thank you.
Sarah Helvey, can you facilitate that by sending her an order form? Okay.
Okay, good.
Great.
Well, unless any of the other board members have anything, I think that is what I had for the presentation. If we were all live, I would throw it open for questions. I know it's a little unwieldy here, and I'm happy to give it a shot. So if you either want to send a chat, or if you can unmute yourself, then we can do it that way. But not sure we have the answer. Do we know? Okay, here's one. Do we know if and when we'll have a chance to ask questions of the staff? So Melissa, that's probably a you question in terms of timing.
Sure. So if you're a freshman parent on the September 9th freshman welcome, what we'll do is start with the general producers meeting for you all, talking a little bit more in depth about what they do. Then we will have breakout rooms where you'll be able to go into your department, and they will talk specifically about what the producers do for them. And then you'll have an opportunity to talk to them and ask them questions. If you are not, I'm not sure, if you're not a freshman, then again, it's just there will be a virtual open house eventually. If you have other concerns though, and need to talk to a teacher before that, you can try their email, and that would be the best way to contact them.
Okay. The next one is Amazon Smile and Kroger Plus. I am 99% sure we have Amazon Smile. I'm not sure about Kroger Plus, if anybody knows that one.
We do not have Kroger Plus.
Okay.
But we are an Amazon Smile. Find us, it's Producers Inc. INC.
Ms. Monell, I had a question about the College and Career Day. We know for YPAS students and manual students, that's one of the biggest days where they get to meet with hundreds of college reps from all over the country. This event is still happening virtually. We planned from the beginning to do it virtually because we knew that was the safest way to plan it. And so there will be still auditions. There will still be opportunities to talk with individual colleges. They're setting up websites so students can visit those schools before and get to learn a little bit about them and see if those are ones they want to talk to more in depth. So as that date approaches, you'll be getting more information about that. And Amy Dennison's organizing it, so it's going to be amazing.
Okay. Same question I had. Somebody asked if we knew how to actually pronounce Kelly's last name, but I don't think she's on. Does anybody who is on know how to pronounce the one that I butchered?
Abulhosen.
Abulhosen.
Abulhosen. Okay. And if you let me share my screen, I have a promotion for Amazon Smile. I've got the directions on how you can get your Amazon app on your phone automatically to make every single purchase a part of Amazon Smile for the producers. Because I was finding it a real bother. I would get impulsive, want to buy something on Amazon, and then remember I had to log into smile.amazon.com, and that would slow me down and make me open up my browser. So if you let me share. I think Callie, you're the host.
Bear with me, I'm trying to find it.
Okay. Down at the bottom, there's a green button. Okay. And hopefully I can pull up the right thing before I share it.
Now, this information is already on our Facebook page. It's on our website. It's on our Twitter and our Instagram, if you would like to pull it off of that as well.
Okay, I lost my chance because I didn't have the right thing to pull up, even though it's on my screen. But yeah, basically, if you go on your Amazon app, you go to the bottom where it says settings on the left side. It's got an American flag. If you click on settings, you can tap on Amazon Smile and follow the on-screen instructions to turn Amazon Smile on your app on your cell phone. So that's a good source of revenue. They'll give us 5% of every 0.5% of every purchase.
Okay, and there's a couple of folks who have put some info in the comments about various departments having their own Kroger Plus accounts. So that may be something to ask as well. And anybody else? Oh, there's a new one. What is organization's name for Smile?
YPAS producers.
Okay. Okay, and then I did want to, before we get out of here, acknowledge, in addition to Melissa Case, we got a few others from the YPAS who joined us, and we appreciate that. And that's Laura Ratton, Nikki Gregory, and Katie Blackerby-Weibel. So I hope I got all those names right, but appreciate everyone from there joining us and supporting what we're doing. Anything else? I got done faster than I thought I would. Okay. Well, really appreciate everybody joining. And you know, like I said, reach out if we can be of assistance, and particularly if you can help. We're happy to hear from you, and we will find a way to get through what's hopefully going to be a few weeks. And if it's longer, we'll figure that out too. But you know, for those of you who are new, I really can't reiterate the exciting times your kids have ahead of them, and you know, they'll have a good story to tell their grandkids when this is all over. So thanks everybody, and we'll call it a day.